One important element in any relationship is sexual compatibility, but how far would you go to get the right moves? If you're up to it, now you can Skype your way to better sex. To explain, join us via Skype from Chicago is sex life coach Eric Amaranth. So, Eric, if you were listening in, we were just listening to a very unique sexual relationship, but everyone's sexual relationship is unique to them. You are a sex life coach, and as I understand it, you will even watch people have sex over Skype and give them tips and hints. How does this work?
It's a workshop format. It's there for information impartation, if that's a word.
Well, you know what?
It's not for, they just do things and then I judge. They're there to develop in real time. So it's different than what you may be thinking.
Well, I will say that I think far too often we are afraid to talk about sex with our partners, and if having someone else to bring in, because we know that therapy can really help relationships, and sex is a part often that is missing in therapy in terms of the functional elements. Would you, I'm not saying anyone here at the table, but would you ever do this?
I'm all for continuing education. You know, there's always something to learn out there, and
I think you're right, Drew. I think if you use sex as one of the skills in really enhancing and improving your relationship, and you need to, at least a catalyst to talk about it and have this open discussion, maybe some pointers, I think
I'm ready. I don't think my wife is, though.
I don't know if I would want a movie director in the bedroom, because that's almost kind of what it is. Like, do this, stop there. A little more motion here.
Well, maybe
like
the phone. Maybe the phone.
Maybe the phone.
Or you can just create your own little video, and then Eric can analyze it. I mean,
Eric, how much did these sessions cost?
Well, it's $200 an hour, but I work in a package system. So the more sessions you get, it goes down dramatically.
So can you give America like a daytime television tip? What's the biggest thing that people do wrong?
I'd say that if they try something new and it doesn't work, it's very common that people get scared and lots of angst around it, and then they throw it away and never do it again because they don't want to look bad. But don't do that. Go and try it again. Get better information. Hire somebody like me. Create this great thing you're going for.
I love that this option is available for people. A lot of folks probably don't even know that there are these sex coaches out there. And I'm curious, Dr. Dow, you do a lot of talk therapy. Do you ever recommend your clients go talk to a sex coach?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I'm a sex therapist, and oftentimes I wish that I could observe. You know, two of the great, and I'll tell you why. People are terrible self-reporters, especially when it comes to sex. So when I have a couple in my office and they're reporting one thing, I'm often wondering to myself, but what do they really think? What's really going on? And two of the great sex therapists, you know, and we can credit them for some of the most effective clinical techniques in sex therapy, Doctors Masters and Johnson, they watched people have sex. They watched people have an orgasm. They watched people stimulate themselves. And that's how we know so much of what we do know about sex. So this is obviously taking it to the next level, because now you're being the director. So I can definitely see the pros and also the cons here.
So I think it's official. All the men are on board.
wow.
Except Travis. Travis isn't on board.
Hey, that's bigger about
I literally have
self-improvement.
No offense, Eric, I have no interest in you hovering over me while I'm having sex. Having said that, Dr. Ordon, he is into continuing education, and he was nice enough to allow our cameras into the bedroom. Let's have a look.
They're looking at what
Just kidding. Just kidding. Eric, thanks so much for being with us. Before we go, really quickly, Dr. Dow, as far as I know, there's no PhD and a sex coach. So how would you know that you're getting the right help if you seek someone like this?
Yeah, so I would actually look for a sex therapist. So sex therapists in the state of California have to be licensed, and in other states you have to have a license to practice therapy with additional training in sex therapy to call yourself a sex therapist. There are boards in this country where you can go and do a zip code search, so you're actually being treated by somebody who is legally bound with a license, with malpractice insurance, and I think that would be a really sound, ethical, and clinically effective way to go.